Hey, what's going on, guys? Crypto Clay here, and today we're going to be talking about Celsius again. If you see a headline like this, Celsius Network to return only 22% of customer funds, it might initially look really bad, and it is. Unfortunately, this article on bncrypto.com only tells you that the recent court filing indicates that Celsius Network will agree to return 48 million or 22% of its current assets being held back to customers of the now bankrupt platform. That sounds really bad right there because you immediately assume that you're only going to be getting 22% of your crypto back. But it gets worse. It gets so much worse, guys. Celsius wants to reopen withdrawals for some customers, and here's why. Only some Celsius users are eligible. In the filing, Celsius made the argument that it needs to reopen withdrawals for some of its customers. However, these withdrawals would be limited to only those who operated custody and withhold accounts. The now defunct crypto lending platform said that these users were the owners of their cryptocurrencies due to the structure of the accounts, and as such should be eligible to get back the cryptocurrencies they deposited on the platform. It further went on to address why earn and borrow users, the majority of people on Celsius, should not be able to withdraw their assets. Bitcoinist had previously reported that Celsius Network did not believe that users who operated such accounts had any right to their crypto, and it makes the same argument once more, saying that these digital assets are likely property of their estates. Celsius and their lawyers are making the argument that they are the owners of these assets, and therefore they should not have to return these to people because they are the proper and rightful owner of these assets, and people were only, I guess, quote unquote, borrowing them. I don't really know what you call selling somebody something other than ownership. It kind of blows my mind that this would even be upheld in a court of law. You would think that the judge would immediately say, hey, hang on, wait a second. But the fact that our law system is so flawed and they can do something like this is just completely mind-blowing to me. A majority of their users were these types of users. To say that they were there to operate against the banks and then come to find out whenever they go to court, bankruptcy court, they try to say or find some sort of scapegoat out like a bank would, just blows my mind. When you go to a bank and you deposit funds into a bank, you technically no longer have ownership of those assets. So if you go and deposit $1,000 into your bank account, if it's FDIC insured, then FDIC will have to come in and refund you that money depending on the amount that is insured on your bank account. But in this case, there is no FDIC insurance on these deposits that people were making. So if you went in and used the earn and borrow functions on Celsius, which, like I said, a majority of the people did on their platform, and you purchased assets on Celsius itself, you are not the owner of those assets, is what they're trying to make an argument for here. And the fact that they were so persistent on saying we're against banks, we're against the banking system altogether, we are here for the people, and for them to turn around and do some shady shit like this, it irritates the hell out of me. I'm seeing red a little bit. Or, I didn't have too much money invested in Celsius. I still had some, but I feel for the people that this affects. Like, my mother was affected by this, and I feel for her. I feel for all of the people that is this affected. One of my good buddies, Nick, it affected him majorly. This article, seeing what they're trying to make arguments for and against in court right now, just pisses me off. It really does. I hope that the court system says, no, you don't get a pass on this. You need to pay back all of your investors, not just 22% of them. You need to pay back every penny that was invested into your platform. That's what I want to see. I don't think it'll happen, but, you know, sometimes these people that go out and do really dumb things, they deserve to pay the ultimate penalty. I really hope that they don't get to stay in business. I know that they were initially talking about trying to stay operational. I don't want to see failed businesses like this stay in business, because they clearly were not operating truthfully, and that's why they're now bankrupt. They were doing shady things behind closed doors, and they weren't reporting on them, and they deserve to go out of business. I hope that's what the court finds. I hope that they make them pay as much as possible back to their investors, and I hope that some of these people, like Mashinsky, have to pay out of pocket. They need to suffer the amount that people who put their life savings into this have suffered. That's my own 2 cents. Obviously, there are going to be people that disagree with me on this. That's totally fine. You're entitled to your opinion. This is what I wanted to talk about today. If you enjoyed this video today, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. But that's going to be it. Crypto Clay out.